Hello, this is Dr. Barbara Jennison, and I'm with Wind of the Spirit Ministries. If you would like to write me, write the ministry, small letters please. Email address is windofspirit@yahoo.com. I gave this prophetic word in 2003. I was looking through some of my papers. And Antoinette had this one paper reserved. And I looked at it and I felt led that I needed to share this again with you. Now I want to say something about the prophetic word. The prophetic word can go forever. If you understand anything about the prophetic, there was many years before Jesus even came to the earth. There were many that prophesied about the coming Messiah. So when a prophetic word is given, sometimes it's given for that particular time, or it's given for that time and another time, or it's given forever. I believe this is a prophetic word that God gave in 2003, and I believe it's relevant today as it was when it was given in 2003. And the title is, I saw many worshipers hanging up their harps, and these worshipers were complaining, right song, wrong shepherd. Right song, wrong shepherd. There are many shepherds, pastors, leaders, ministers, who have lost their way, and perhaps those who were not even called to be shepherds in the first place, at least in the view of the detractors. They have lost their ways. When God removes them, is it worthy of His love and respect and honor and authority? So we have to look at kingdom authority and kingdom business. But the Lord would say, many whom I have called into deep, intimate worship of loving me will soon be tested, as they are called upon to stand before my kings of the earth. They will be called upon to stand before the Pharaohs, the King Sauls, and many shepherds whose hearts have been hardened. If these worshipers will stand and worship me in the midst of these ones I have placed in authority for my purposes, and know that I am God, I will be exalted in the earth and among the heathen, and even in my own house of worship. Worship, people, listen. Worship will take you further and farther than you want to go. When King Saul was ruling over Israel and losing his kingdom, worship coming from the hillside of Judah, from a shepherd boy, is what the king heard. He heard worshiping coming from a shepherd boy. He was absolutely lost in worshiping God. Now he was a full-time worshiper and a part-time shepherd. And then I heard the Lord say, kill any enemy that comes against his flock of sheep, any bear, lion, or giant. For anything that interrupts his worshiping me has to die. Any questions, angels? I have found a worshiper who is so lost in me that even the wrong authority over him and the people does not distract him. He has learned to worship me in the secret of those stinking sheep. I have found the next king of Israel. Tell Samuel to go anoint him. God is looking for a worshiper to change things. He's looking for a worshiper to change things. He wants things changed in His kingdom. As David was anointed by Samuel, the Spirit of the Lord came upon him from that day forward, and the Spirit of the Lord departed from Saul. In Saul's torment, he called to his servants, seek out a man who is cunning player on a harp and bring him to me. Seek out someone that can worship God. Seek out someone that can lose himself in lifting his hands and eyes on God and not looking at anything else. That's 1 Samuel 16:21. And David came to Saul and stood before him. And David loved him greatly, and he became his armor-bearer. Saul became refreshed as David stood before him worshiping God. Then Saul was well during this time, and the evil spirits departed from him. The Spirit of God would say, don't write off every King Saul, Pharaoh, or shepherd whose heart is hardened. Don't write him off. For the heart of the king and every man is in my hand, and like a river, I am able to turn their hearts in whatever direction I choose. You'll never know when a Saul will become a Paul, a Pharaoh becomes a Moses, or a shepherd with a hardened heart becomes a lover of my sheep. Little do we know that there is enough power in just one worshiper who allows me to love through them to change the course of history in my kingdom. I am seeking in this hour for worshipers. He is seeking for worshipers among these listeners. He is seeking you out. He said, even just one of you, who will allow me through them to influence the hearts of leadership in my kingdom and in the world. I have already prepared worshipers for this hour who are so sensitive to my spirit that even silent worship with their daily lives will ultimately open up hearts of authority over them. David's greatest enemy was not the lion, the bear, or the giant. His greatest enemy was in the house of God. And time and again, God reminded David, you can't touch this. David knew somehow that Saul was still God's anointed, although he didn't act like it. God many times uses the Sauls in our lives to prepare us for a great destiny. Get ready. People, get ready to take your harp off the weeping willow tree. Our God is calling many to stand beside the Sauls, the Pharaohs, and the shepherds who we may not like. But don't stop worshiping now. You have come too far to turn back. Take your harp down. God protected David because he was born to worship, and so were you. Ongoing worship will shield you and heal your wounds from past hurts, from past Pharaohs, Sauls, and shepherds. Healed people heal people. Let me say this again. Healed people heal people. True worship will not only cause our hands to be raised upward, but also outward, like Jesus' hands were on the cross, was the greatest display of worship to the Father that is still influencing multitudes today, even kings, pharaohs, and herding shepherds. This has been Dr. Barbara Jennison with the prophetic word released again in this year.